All right, we are going to review what we've been learning about the Bible story about creation. So I want you to do it with me, and we're going to practice thinking about what happened on each day. So on day 1, put your one finger up. Put your pencil down, no pencil, just your finger. Put one finger up. Day 1, and we're going to go like day and night. So pretend the sun is coming up. Day and night. On day 1, God made day and night. On day 2, God made air and water. On day 2, God made air and water. On day 3, God made dry land and plants that grew up from the land, right? So dry land and plants. What did God make on day 4? On day 4, God made the sun, the moon, fold your hands like this, like a half moon, and stars twinkling. The sun and moon and stars. On day 5, show me 5 fingers. God made what in the ocean? Fish. And what flew in the sky? Birds. God made fish and birds on day 5. And what did God make on day 6?
Men and animals.
First he made the animals, then he made the man. So he made the animals and the man. And of course we know he made woman and man, but we're going to call man both, okay? We just say man and that includes woman, because the word man is in the word woman. Interesting, huh? So animals and man on day 6. So very good. Let's try it one more time. What did God make on the first day? Say it with me. God made day and night. Day 2, air and water. Day 3, dry land and plants. Day 4, sun and moon and stars. Day 5, fish and birds. Day 6, animals and man. Very good. Now I am going to flip the camera around for a second, and we're going to pick a person that thinks they can say that all by themselves. Who thinks they could do all those by themselves? All right, let's listen to Rhett. Okay, Rhett, stay seated. Day 1.
Day 1, light and night.
Okay.
Day 2, dry land.
Nope, air.
Air and water. Day 3, dry land and
Plants.
plants. Day 4,
Sun,
sun,
moon,
moon, stars. Day 5,
fish.
fish and birds.
Mhm.
Day 6, man.
Animals.
Animals and man.
Awesome, good job. Okay, well everybody will get a turn to say those, but we're not going to make Annika listen to everybody. And Annika at home, you can do it too. See if you can do all of those by yourself with your parents. So after the Bible story, I'm going to ask you all to do what happened on all those 6 days. What did God do on the 7th day?
Make babies.
Let's find out. Emma guesses make babies.
Make buildings.
Let's find out. So remember, okay,
Buildings.
listen,
Church.
be quiet. On the 7th day, God looked at all he made, and he didn't need to make anything else because he made everything he needed to make, and it was all perfect. The Bible says everything was perfect. He didn't make any mistakes. None of the plants had anything brown on them. Every animal was perfect, and all the animals were happy with each other too. Did you know that when God made the animals, they all got along? Nothing got sick. Nothing ever got broken. Everything was perfect that God made, and he was very happy. So you know what he did on the 7th day?
What?
God rested.
I knew.
He took a rest. He said, you know what, I've done all this. It's perfect. And he rested because he wanted to be an example for us. He told Adam and Eve, he said, I want you to rest also. 1 day a week, on the 7th day, I want you to take a rest from all your work. So that's what God did. He rested from all his work. He made all these beautiful things and they were perfect. Then he rested. And he said, you need a rest too. And that's good for our bodies to rest. And it's good for our heart to rest. And our minds.
And our brain.
And our brains, right. And so he actually made a law in the old days that the children of Israel, they had to, if they worked on the 7th day, they got in big trouble. It was against the law. He said, you must rest. You know, when Jesus died on the cross, that law changed, and for all of us, he loves it. He wants us to choose to take that day to rest. And so he says, he loves it when we take the time to stop what we're doing and to think about him and to worship him and to take a day to rest. So Adam and Eve, of course, were in the garden, and they rested on every 7th day they would take a rest. But what we can do is on one of the days of the week. Some people do it on Saturday, some people go on Sunday.
Church.
We can go to church, and we can take a time to stop what we're doing in our busy life and think about God and learn about him and take a day to rest from all of our work. And so it pleases God when we do that. When we obey him and we go into church with our families. So here we have a mom and a dad, and the children are going to church to worship God, and they're taking the time to think about him. It's so important to take time to think about him. Right now, most of our churches are closed because of the COVID, right?
Yeah.
But we can take time at home to
Or
worship
you can
him
do church online.
and think about him. So maybe you do. Maybe you watch church at home.
And
Sometimes, you know what? You can also take time to go for a walk and just go outside and enjoy God's beauty and say, Lord, I worship you. Thank you for all of these beautiful things. Thank you for making the birds in the sky and the sun and the moon and the stars. Take time to thank him and to worship him. And that's what God would like us to do, to take at least 1 day a week to worship him and to take a rest. So, on the 7th day, God rested.